Hello, 8th graders. This is an IXL support video. Specifically, we're taking a look at assignment Y4 called Slope-Intercept form. Find the slope and the y-intercept. So for this whole assignment, each time they're going to give you an equation that's in a specific form. It's always going to say y equals, and then all the other stuff is on the other side of the equation. And we're going to start to recognize this as slope-intercept form. And what this fancy name means is if the equation is in this y equals formula, then it's really easy to identify what is the slope and what is the y-intercept going to be for that equation. So we're going to first take a quick look at some of our notes. If you go to this key resources page, slide 2 in our math materials, this box down here, slope-intercept form, is our key piece of information. So I'm going to pull this information right from this box and put it into our IXL. In slope-intercept formula, anytime you have a linear equation, we'll talk more about these linear equations, but anytime it's a linear equation and it's solved for y, or it's in this y equals form, then whatever the m is, the coefficient of x, whatever is multiplied with x will represent my slope, and whatever number is added or subtracted on is going to just be our y-intercept. So once we understand this, and we'll practice more with this equation and see why it always works like this. But it's just a matter of if they ask me for slope, I need to identify where is the m. So here for this problem, they ask us in the question, they say to find the slope of the line y equals negative 1/2 multiplied with x plus positive 1/2 there. And if I understand that slope is always just going to be the m, whatever is multiplied with the x, the coefficient of x, here I know that this negative 1/2 right there that's multiplied with x is going to be my slope. And all this assignment's doing is helping you get used to whenever we see these y equals equations, we should be able to pick out the slope and the y-intercept right away. And once we know that stuff, it's a lot easier to work with the equations and the graphs that are linear. So here the next question, we'll go ahead and put a box around it again. It says find the slope of the line y equals negative 7/8 multiplied with x. And we see here there's not even anything added or subtracted. We could assume there's a plus 0 there. But here they're just asking us about slope. That's the m, whatever is multiplied with x. So in this case, our slope is going to be this negative 7/8, a fraction, negative 7/8, which is multiplied with x. We think back to last year, Mr. Neville would have called that a coefficient. We'll keep calling this the coefficient, and this coefficient of x is really going to be our slope whenever we're at y equals 4. Next question's up here. It is again asking us to find the slope. This time the equation is y equals negative 7/9 times x plus 1/3. So in this case, again, if it's slope, I don't know why they're asking slope repeatedly and never asking y-intercept, but you're going to look for whatever is multiplied with x, in this case, negative 7. Okay, for our next question, we're going to go ahead and take a look, and this time they're now going to ask us about the y-intercept. And y-intercept is really a fancy name for the beginning point or where the line crosses with or intersects with the y-axis. And so here, if they're asking us to find the y-intercept, we know that's going to be the b, the constant number that's added or subtracted to the equation. So in our case here, the b is going to be, we'll try to make this a little smaller to see better. The b is going to be this negative 2/3 right there. That's going to be my b, my y-intercept. Could even switch that to the purple color. And anytime your y-intercept is subtracted instead of added, they're telling you the y-intercept is negative. This equation starts out with some negative value. And in this case, the equation starts out with a value of not quite negative 1, but down the negatives at negative 2/3. Next one asks you to find the slope. So we'll clean the screen up a little bit. Box that question says we want to find the slope here. And the slope of the line y equals 4/3 x. You see there's no y-intercept here, or really the y-intercept would be 0. That's why it's not listed. But all they asked us about is the slope here. That's the m that's multiplied with the x. And in this case, we'll try to be real exact. This 4/3 right here that's multiplied with x is going to be our slope. We're going to skip forward. You should be in great shape to do this assignment on your own. We're going to just go take a quick look. For those of you who are stuck maybe on the challenge problems, we'll go get towards 90 and see if this gets any more difficult. This is the highest level, it looks like, at 74 points, so maybe they don't have a challenge zone here. We'll take a look at a couple quick questions. This says find the y-intercept of the following equation. So I'm going to put this whole equation into purple, since we're focused on the y-intercept here. And the equation we're looking at is y equals 34 times x minus 26. So bigger numbers, but still whatever is the constant number all by itself, in this case our negative 26 that you see me putting the box around, that's going to represent our y-intercept. And if it's subtraction, that really means the y-intercept started out with a negative value. We have a negative y-intercept. Here again, they're asking us to find the y-intercept. They give you the equation. It's in y=4 or slope-intercept form. So again, all we're going to do is look for the constant that's added or subtracted. In this case, they're adding 10 over 7. So the y-intercept is a little more than 1. It's the fraction 10 over 7. We're not going to keep showing more of these. I think you're in great shape to keep doing this on your own. Thank you for checking out the Loom video. And please, as always, if you have any questions, send me a quick email. We're happy to jump on and help you.